How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. And today we're going to be talking about SOFI. It ended up being up almost 5% on the day. If you guys remember what I've been saying in my previous videos, I thought we would have tested $6. Instead, we got down to a low of $6.02. So you know what? I was off by 2 cents. We'll talk about it further in this video. I won't waste any more time. Let's jump into the agenda. If you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we have timestamps down below inside the description. But if you're a shareholder, you're thinking about taking a position, I highly suggest you watch this full entire video. So the first thing we're going to go over is the technical analysis. We're going to be taking a look at the overall price action. We want to know support. We want to know resistance. We want to know what it looks like in the bearish case scenario and as well as in the bullish case scenario. And then we're going to be going on Fintel, taking a look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest information. The reason why this is important because it does have an impact on the way the stock performs. And then we're going to be taking a look at the order flow distribution. We want to know the buying and the selling behavior on the retail side and as well as on the institutional side. And then when all of that is done, we'll be going into the final thoughts and as well as some more details. So let's get to it. So we're going to do a technical analysis for SOFI. Let's see how it performed on the day. So it ended up closing at $6.45, being up 4.88%. On the low, it tested $6.02, and then on the high, testing $6.54. When we take a look at the volume stats on the day, you could see we traded at 45.173 million shares, and the average volume over 10 trading days is at 47.158 million shares. So we did have below average volume on the day, but we saw some strength in the stock. Now, when we take a look at our chart, which is a daily chart, you can see from the RSI down below, it is at 33.41. And then when we take a look at our moving averages here on the chart, we are below the 200-day, the 100-day, the 50-day, and as well as the 21-day EMA. And as you can clearly see, we are trading below all of our major moving averages, which SOFI continues to be in a bear market. So we ended up posting up a green day, and we saw a high of $6.54. Of course, this is an area where we've seen resistance in the past. So going into tomorrow, if we want to see some strength in the stock, of course, we need to get above this level and make a move to get to around $6.90. And if we can get to that level, I want to see SOFI sometime next week getting to the 21-day EMA, which is at $7.49. But also, let's pay attention to the fact that we ended up testing support on the low at $6.02. And like I was saying in my previous videos, I really wanted to see if SOFI could hold $6. And you know what? It did exactly that. But if we have weakness in the market, I just saw that Amazon released earnings, and yes, it was disappointing. So that's why I'm saying if we go into tomorrow and the markets begin to sell off, then we could see SOFI potentially breaking through that $6 level, and I know a lot of long-term investors are looking at that level as well. But what we want to see is some strong price action from SOFI if the market turns out to be green going into tomorrow. So let's move on to the short interest information. So we're going to take a look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest information for SOFI. Scrolling down on the page, green rows indicate new positions while red rows indicate closed positions. So we have a filing here for the 27th. I don't remember if I had the opportunity to share with you guys, but we had a high net worth advisory group LLC that purchased 3,500 shares. And then we also have KRS Capital Management with a change of reducing their position by 21.31%. Now, when we take a look at the short interest, the off-exchange short volume ratio is at 49.66%, and then for the off-exchange short volume, it is just over 8.73 million shares. Scrolling down further on the page, the short shares availability is at 700,000, updated just now, and then for the short ball-free rate, it is at 1.51%. When we take a look at the history of the short volume, we can see for the close of the 26th, it is at 41.65, and then for the close of the 27th, being at 49.66. So what does this show us? Alongside with the short interest percentage of the float being at 19.61%, SOFI does have short squeeze potential. Now let's move on to the order flow distribution. Now let's take a look at the order flow distribution for SOFI. So we see on the inflow, it's at 49.19 million, and then on the outflow, it's at 51.14 million. So we ended up having an outflow day. Taking a look at the breakdown on the large, it was 3.12. On the medium, it was 32.09, and then on the small, it was 13.98. Taking a look at the outflow side, you can see on the large, it was 2.35. On the medium, it was 35.28, and then on the small, it was 13.51. Taking a look at the large scale orders in the last 5 days, you can see for today, April the 28th, we had that inflow of 0.77 million. Analyzing the numbers even further for the small scale orders that tends to represent the retail side, we had more buying than we had selling. And then when we take a look at what happened on the medium, we had more selling than we had buying. And then when we take a look at the large, which represents whales, institutions, and funds, we had more buying than we had selling. And then when we take a look at the turnover ratio, it was at 5.51%. So this is a consistent range for SOFI. And what we can clearly see, there was a lot of buying that was happening. We noticed this on the retail side and as well as on the whales and institution side. So just knowing this, I'll be very curious to see how SOFI performs. I'll talk about some more details that I noticed inside of the after hours in the final thoughts. So let's get into it right now. So for my final thoughts for SOFI, before we go into the price action, I want to let you guys know what I saw inside of the after hours. So we had Amazon that ended up disappointing with their earnings, and then we also had Apple that exceeded expectations. But we are having a big time dump, and this is affecting the market as a whole. And when I took a quick look at SOFI, I saw that it was pulling back in the after hours as well. So if this dump continues going into tomorrow, then we might get another test at $6.02. And we really want to see if that breaks, will $6 hold? If not, of course, I know many of you are looking for that $5 range. Let me talk about the price action very quickly. I kind of mixed it in both. But first and foremost, we want to see SOFI at least being able to get to $6.90. But I have a hard time seeing this if we continue to dump as far as for tomorrow. So I want to make sure I'm being clear. And I also did say if it was able to close at least above $7, that would be a good accomplishment for the end of the week. But now, the way how things are looking, I'm definitely not seeing it. So I know some of you who are traders are going to be playing SOFI to the downside, because if there's weakness in the market as a whole, especially for the tech sector, I really don't see SOFI going on a run unless they end up getting some sort of a catalyst. Also, when we went on Fintel, taking a look at the recent institutional ownership, we do see some activity in regards to institutions purchasing shares. But another thing we have to keep in mind, taking a look at the short interest information, it does have short squeeze potential. There's many shorts who are vested in this play. No surprises there. It's been like that for quite some time. So that's why you want to make sure you're doing your homework and you're doing your due diligence before you jump into this play. We also have to understand the fact with the current environments that we are in regards to interest rate hikes. We also have a Fed meeting that's coming up next week. This is not a favorable environment for SOFI. And why is that? This is a company that is not consistently profitable as of yet. It is going to take some time. So just keeping that into consideration, the volatility will continue. So now that you know that, I want you to make sure before you push that buy button and so forth, or even before you decide to push that sell button, you've done your research and you have confidence in the decision that you made. This is very crucial, especially for 2022, and you should be carrying that same habit for the future as well. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I really can't wait to see how the stock performs going into tomorrow. We'll talk soon.